Hello guys, hello tigers, and welcome back with the next lesson of the programming languages with the most amazing programming language, which is the C# programming language. This course produced by A to Z for Learning channel. This is Nazar Al-Wattar with you. In this course we will learn many things, and we are going to continue with our journey about the most powerful programming language, C#. In this lesson, we are going to answer the questions: what is in the .NET framework? As we have seen in the previous video, this framework has a very powerful features, has many features, has many advantages, and it supports many operating systems, it supports many programming languages. So all these features, from where we need to understand that so as to be an expert at the end with this amazing programming language. The answer about this question is the .NET framework basically contain from one library. Oh my goodness, all that features from one library? Yes, this framework contain one library, but this library has a huge amount of coding. These codes we are going to use in our programming language, which is C#. This kind of library built on OOP fundamentals or OOP technique fundamentals. This library has built in many different modules. This framework has many different modules, and each module will support different things, will support different applications. For example, one of these modules will support the Windows mobile applications. Another modules will support the Windows web applications. Another modules will support the iOS applications. Another modules will support the cloud web applications. As we can see here, there is many modules, and each module support different things and different applications. Also, there is another aspect about this framework. This framework has built from this frameworks, and sometimes has smaller modules. These modules called submodules. For example, we have the root modules for a specific applications. For example, we have a root modules for Windows applications. Inside this root modules, there are submodules that are responsible for a specific applications that belongs to that category. Then we understood the design of this .NET framework. Also, the .NET framework has built from many parts. It's not one part, but there's many different parts inside this framework. For example, there are some parts responsible. One of these parts is responsible for supporting operating system. Another part of this .NET framework library responsible for defining the basic types for the programming language that you are going to use. For example, we are going to use C#, we are going to use Visual Basic, we are going to use JavaScript. So this part is responsible for defining the basic types for that language. So what is the type? A type defined as a representation of data. For example, we have the type integer, and within this type, which is the integer, we have different types. For example, we have integer 16-bit, we have integer 32-bit, we have integer 64-bit. So we have different types of integers from one type. So all these basic types, this part of this library of the .NET framework is responsible for defining these basic types. This part called Common Type System, or CTS. This is the abbreviation for the Common Type System. Also, there is another part of the .NET framework called Common Language Runtime, or CLR. This is the abbreviation for the Common Language Runtime. This part is responsible to follow your applications through the runtime period and after that. And the end of this supporting should end up with one of two options. Either it will give you the result or it will give you the error that you have made in your coding and you have to correct this code. So as we can see here, this amazing framework has many abilities, and all these abilities included in one library. Okay, now let me summarize what we have learned in this lesson. .NET Framework is one library, and this library has a huge amount of code, and this code has built on OOP concepts, which is the object-oriented programming concepts. This library has built to support what they called client programming language, like C#, like Visual Basic, this client programming languages. Also, we have learned that this framework has many different modules, and each module will support different applications or different type of applications. For example, some of them will support Windows applications. Some of them will support different type of applications like mobile applications and so on. Another things we have learned in this lesson, this .NET Framework has the ability to divide the big modules into sub-modules. For example, we will have a root modules for specific applications, and inside these modules we will have sub-modules that will support a specific applications within the root applications of that applications. Within the modules applications that will support that applications. Another things we have learned in this lesson that .NET Framework has many parts. One of these parts is responsible for supporting and defining the basic types for each client programming language, like C#, like JavaScript, Visual Basic, and etc. And this part is responsible to deal with these basic types, and it needs to define the characteristics of these basic types. Also, we have learned that this part called Common Type System, which is the CTS. Another part of this library called Common Language Runtime, or CLR. This part is responsible for supporting your code or your application through the runtime period. It will support your application until you get the result or the error if there is anything wrong with your code. As we can see, now we have learned from this lesson what included in this amazing .NET Framework that has built by Microsoft company to support many programming languages and working with many different types of operating system. As we always saying, we will learn many things. We still have many things to learn. Don't go far away. Stick with us and you will learn everything about this amazing course and this amazing programming language. See you in the next lesson, guys.